body weight resistance. And hi, Susan.
Hi, Elsa.
Um, because, you know, everybody is at, hi, Mike, because everybody is at pretty different levels, I would imagine. I'm doing this on a basic level, though there are going to be some more difficult things that I will give you modifications for. So that's the basic plan. Does anybody have any questions before I start chatting? Because I am going to chat a little bit before we start. Questions? Everybody's good? Everybody has their stuff? Okay, awesome. So you're going to see me look down at my notes a little bit because if I just run at the mouth, then I get off track. So my background, for those of you that don't know me, I'm a physical therapist. I specialize in orthopedics. I have worked at North Shore for the last 15 years, and I work at Evanston Hospital in their outpatient. So I specialize in anything orthopedic from the age of, I don't know, probably the youngest I've seen is 7 all the way to 97. And I don't see a huge population of post-surgical patients. I see mostly people such as yourselves, lots of kind of day-to-day injuries, micro traumas from issues at work or at play. And so I have a lot of fun because I have a ton of variety in what I do, and I really, really enjoy it. So you guys are fulfilling a little bit of a need for me right now because I'm not at work and I'm missing it. So basically what I've found over the years that patients that come to me are often coming to me in their 50s and 60s, and it's almost like they lacked an instruction manual for their bodies along the ways, right? You know, like we learn a lot in school. We never really learn that much about our bodies, depending on what profession we go into. And it's almost as if sometimes I'm introducing people to their bodies for the first time in their 50s or 60s. And some of this has to do with, I believe, where exercise has gone in the last, I don't know, 20 years or so, toward this trend of extremes and more is better and, no pain, no gain, boot camp kind of mentality. I do have the joke, Emily, you said you do yoga. I do make the joke all the time that yoga keeps me in business, but it's when it's done badly, right? That it keeps me in business. Other things that keep me in business, boot camp, because it's a real efficient form of exercise that works certain groups, muscle groups, to the exclusion of others. We'll talk about that in a second. And gravity, people falling down, having balance issues, being generally deconditioned, those kind of things. So I get a lot of variety in what I do, and it's really, really fun. But over the years, I've started to incorporate more and more Pilates. I am not Pilates certified. I am in the midst of my Pilates certification right now. And I take Pilates myself. I have for years. Currently, well, not currently, but normally I do it on the Reformer, which is the device, the apparatus that, one of the apparatuses that is really common in Pilates. And, but I've done a lot of mat Pilates in my life as well. Pre, PT life, I was a ballet dancer. So, and Pilates was a form of exercise that was developed, not initially, but very soon thereafter for dancers. So it's really based in the art of control, not brute force. So I want to talk, I feel somewhat passionate about the basis of this, and so I'm going to do this, and then we're going to get started with the exercise class, if that's okay with everybody. I'll take another 5 minutes to just kind of talk to you about what I feel are the important aspects of what we're going to be doing tonight. This whole concept of your muscle system divided into 2 major groups, your intrinsic muscles and your extrinsic muscles. So your extrinsic musculature is the ones everybody likes because you can see them: your glutes, your quads, your six-pack, your deltoids, things like that, right? These are the exercises a lot of times that are focused on in most exercise classes, boot camps, HIIT classes, etc. Okay, these are your power generators. They're the ones that really get you moving and get you moving fast. From an anatomy standpoint, the extrinsic muscles attach farther away from the center of motion of a joint, okay? And so they have less control over the precise action at that joint. And if they're not properly balanced, they create really messy motion within the joint. And messy motion over time equals arthritis because it creates micro instability, okay? What Pilates does, what yoga does, if done well, is work these intrinsic muscle groups, okay? So if you think about your rotator cuff, the deep rotator muscles of your hip, your deep core. We have muscles called our transversus and our multifidus in our spine, really important for the control. And the fact is that these muscles attach very, very close to the center of motion within a joint. And so because of that, they have a ton of control over the precision of motion within a joint. So instead of, if you think about your hip being a ball and socket that should rotate precisely, right? Or your shoulder, same thing, ball and socket joint. If those intrinsics are working beautifully, you'll get a nice spin within the joint. If the extrinsics are in control and the intrinsics are doing nothing, you get this, right? And that is what causes arthritic change over time. In a general sense, we call that micro instability. And, a lot of times I get patients that think, oh, I have arthritis because my dad had arthritis. Or maybe I'm a few pounds overweight, but no one has ever really been properly educated on the fact that we have these two, if you divide the musculoskeletal system into these two basic groups, one is really important and very underemphasized in our exercise classes in general. So that is what has come to, in my physical therapy career, bring me toward Pilates and make me want to get my Pilates certification so I can really help to kind of meld the two together. I do often send my patients for Pilates after I'm done with them because I think it really helps keep people out of my office. I'm not trying to keep people in my office. I think it keeps people away from me. So, so that's a good thing. Okay, and then the other thing I wanted to talk about was something that I think is really important just in the current place that we're all in with COVID. The fact that we're all probably anxious about what's to come, where we are, and what's to come. And I think just like with yoga, Pilates can really promote mindfulness. And I think that what I would like for all of you tonight is to kind of just be with your body in a loving way. Listen to your body as far as what you feel like you can do and what you feel like you cannot do. Be where you are. Don't be in your 25-year-old brain. And be okay with what you cannot do. I will be giving you modifications pretty much to everything that I give you tonight. So we're doing this in a fairly basic form. Anybody who has back problems, you should feel better after tonight, not worse, okay? That's the whole thing about Pilates, is that you should feel better after we stabilize you, not worse, okay? So, but please listen to your body. And on that note, I kind of wanted to, in a yoga-esque fashion, set a little bit of an intention for our exercise tonight. So I'm, I have a program set out, and I think it's going to take us about 40 minutes to go through. It's all, well, with the exception of our very, very first thing, it's going to be lying down in various positions, lying down. And so I want to kind of have you, if we're looking at this through a somewhat Jewish lens, I want you to think about chesed and some loving kindness for yourself, for your mind, for your body, trying to integrate those two and maybe bring them together for a little bit of time. And so I found this online and modified it to my own desires, but I just want to say this and then we're going to get started. If anybody has any questions before we get started, we can definitely chat. Okay, so may I be filled with chesed for myself and those around me. May I be held in chesed. May I accept myself just as I am and listen without judgment to my body. May I be happy. May I know the joy of moving my limbs, whatever their capacity, and seek to find the stability that is deep inside me, waiting to be found. Okay? So when you're feeling frustrated with yourself, if you're having difficulty doing something, I want you to go back to your chesed and try to let it go. Okay? Okay. Does anybody have any questions before we get started here? Everybody's got a strap, a little pillow, a towel roll, etc. Yes, Robin.
Do you want our screen so that you can see what we're doing?
Yes, I would prefer that. It's not, you don't have to. If you don't want me to see you, turn yourself off. Okay? But I'm not going to probably be doing a ton of correction. I'm going to be doing this along with you. Okay? So you're going to see me. And if you, you should be able to maximize the view of me to help you see what we're going to be doing. Okay? Yes? Okay, so we're actually going to start, a lot of Pilates classes, especially reformer classes, start with something called footwork, where you're using your feet against the reformer bar, and you're really just trying to generate some blood flow, okay? So we're going to actually start in a standing position. If you have something nearby that you can hang on to, I think that would be helpful. I have a chair. And I'm going to be periodically having to adjust where you see my screen, okay? So I want you to be able to see my feet right now. Can everybody hear me okay? Just shout yes.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. So we're going to do some standing footwork just to get our blood flow going, okay? I want you to go up on your toes and then down. Keep your knees straight. Squeeze through your thigh muscles. We're going to do 10 times here, okay? Not fast. Really trying to feel the muscles at the back of your ankle. Try to relax your toes. Don't grip, okay? And just feel that warmth and that blood flow going up through your legs.
Yes.
We're going to do 3 more. Last one. Okay, now we're going to do something in Pilates that's called running. One foot comes up into what I call a Barbie heel, and then you switch. Okay? You're going back and forth. And if you want to, you can kind of start to pick up a little bit of speed here. Okay? We're going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, excellent. So you can come away from whatever you're holding on to. I'm going to adjust my screen a little bit upward. We're going to bring ourselves down onto the mat. Okay? So you're going to take your arms out to the side, and you're going to have to listen because I know you can't see me. All the way up overhead, reach toward the sky. Okay? And I want you to fold down, release your knees if you feel tightness behind your legs, and just kind of hold there for a moment. Pumping your legs back. Feel a little bit of stretch behind the thigh. Okay? And then I want you to roll up, vertebra by vertebra. Articulating every spinal joint up. And we're going to do that again, okay? So you're going to bring your arms out to the side, up, up, up. Reach toward the sky. Fold in half. Okay, fold, 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 release the knees, especially those of you with back problems, and then pump the knees back and forth. Make sure you're breathing and you're feeling that stretch behind the legs, okay? Pushing into gentle stretch, not into ripping, tearing sensation, okay? You're gonna roll up until your head is the very last thing to come up. And we're gonna do one last repetition of that. Arms out to the side, reach toward the sky, fold forward. Okay, a little release through the knees, and then you're gonna pulse it back and forth. Hopefully you're starting to feel a little bit of blood flow going. And then you're gonna roll it up, vertebra by vertebra, okay? Okay, we're gonna come down onto our mat now. I'm gonna get it so you can see. Okay, and we're gonna start with breathing, okay? Pilates and a yoga, very, very important, the breathing, okay? I do not teach holding your belly in. I don't like the whole holding the belly in thing. And so we're gonna practice a little bit of diaphragmatic breathing to try to get some control from a slightly deeper place. And then we're gonna try to keep our minds on that deeper place as we start some movement, okay? So the function of your core in general is to provide stability for the movement of your limbs, right? So your core should stay relatively still. And so on these first exercises, I really want you to think about that, okay? My core stays still, my limbs move, okay? And you may find that you have one side, no problem, and the other side you fall apart, okay? So with that side, maybe you move a little bit more slowly, or you just with a little bit more emphasis and a little bit more effort, okay? Okay, so first, lying on your back, knees bent, you're gonna place one hand on your belly, and you're gonna place the other hand on your ribs, your lower ribs, okay? And what I want you to do is gently flatten your back down into the surface that you're lying on, okay? So that you can feel your vertebra against the surface, okay? And I want you to take a breath in that position. So the first thing you should feel there is that your belly rises. The second thing that happens is your lower ribs rise. So you're getting that stabilization from deep within your abdomen, and you're not just holding your breath, okay? Let that belly go. And then this is hard. This is something that I work a lot on with patients because I think a lot of us have been taught to keep our bellies really tight. And so a cue I sometimes give people is just fat belly, let it go, all right? Let that belly rise. You're keeping your back flat into the mat, but you're allowing that diaphragmatic breathing. We're gonna do 2 more breaths in that position. If it helps to close your eyes, do that. And then 1 more breath. So for most of what we're gonna do, we're gonna try to keep that flatness where you can feel the entirety of your spine against the surface, okay? But that breath is allowed to come from the diaphragm, okay? Now we add movement, okay? First movement, very, very simple. It's going to be lifting one leg up into shelf position and then putting it back down. If you take your fingertips and put them around your pelvis so that you can feel your hip bones, they should stay still. They shouldn't move, okay? And what that requires is for you to push down through that stable side, the one that's not moving. So for me, my right leg is moving, my left leg is pressing down to provide that counter stability. We're going to do a couple more repetitions on this side. So you should feel your back body working on one side and your front body working on the other. It's a very functional movement because this is something that we do during walking, during running, etc. Okay? This is the plane of motion that we move in most of the time. Okay, let's do two more. One, and down, and two, and down. Okay, we're gonna switch sides. So now for me, my right leg is pressing down, my left is lifting up, floating. It's not an effortful movement, the lifting, it's a floating. We're thinking about control, not power. Okay, keep going. If you're thinking about using your breath, as you lift, you're going to exhale. So you're going to go. And it's amazing how simple this motion is and how difficult it can be to do it with symmetry and with stillness in the middle. Two more. Last one. Okay, now you're going to keep your right leg flexed. You're going to take your left leg straight down toward the surface. We're going to do some straight leg lifts now. Your hands are going to stay around your pelvis, and I want you to take your fingertips and really feel those hip bones there. They should be level and they should be still, okay? This is the easier version. If you want a harder version, you take both legs out straight, okay? So I'm going to stay here. You're starting by flattening the back down from those deep muscles. You're inhaling through your nose. And on the exhale, you lift. Hold, 2, 3, and down. You should be feeling that same counterbalancing down through the right foot as the left lifts, okay? On the exhale, hold, 2, 3, inhale it down. Again, hold, 2, 3, inhale it down. If you're feeling a lot of rocking and rolling through your pelvis, you need to flatten down a little bit more, or you need to press down a bit more through that stationary side. Let's do one more on this side. Okay, now we're going to switch. So left leg comes in, right leg goes down, unless you're doing both legs extended for that more advanced version, okay? You're going to inhale through your nose. Exhale and lift. Hold 1, 2, 3, and down. Good. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, and down. Okay. 3 more. 1, 2, 3, and down. Good. And 1, 2, 3. Down. Last one. Exhale it up. 1, 2, 3. And then down. Okay, flex that leg in. We've got both feet flat and knees bent. Okay, so now we're going to come up into a tabletop or a shelf position. Okay, we're going to do a couple things in that position. Tabletop or shelf looks like this. So my hips are a 90 degree and my knees are a 90-degree, okay? If you get any back pain, you pull the knees in a little bit more and you should be fine, okay? We're still thinking about that deep abdominal engagement and letting the belly be somewhat free for that diaphragmatic breathing, okay? So from here, I want you to take both hands, put them against your thighs, okay? On the exhale, you're going to push your thighs into your hands. This is isometric. You should feel your belly muscles tighten. I don't want you to go into your hip flexors. I want you pulling from your belly for 5. And then release, but don't get rid of your position. So you're staying in that position, okay? Pull up from those belly muscles again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. You shouldn't feel any change in the back. Isometric means you're not really moving. You're just pressing, okay? Push again. And release. We're doing 2 more. Press 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. And last one. Press 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And release. Okay, we're going to take the feet down. To relax out of that, we're just going to take the knees side to side. A little bit of rotation, okay, which can be really soothing to the low back. Kind of let the abs have a little break. And then we're going to go back up to that tabletop position. So we're going to bring one leg up at a time. The back is pressed down, okay? Hands along your sides. If you feel like you need extra help, you take your hands and you put them under your tush with a little triangle, like you're making a triangle between your thumb and your index finger on both sides, okay? So keep your back flat. On the exhale, you're going to keep your back flat. You're going to tap. And then pull back up with your belly. And then tap the other down. And pull back up with your belly. Good, let's keep going. Alternating legs. Make sure the effort is in your abdominal wall, not your hip flexors. Good. And up. Up. Good. Two more each side. Your belly should be telling you something. Should be talking to you a little bit here. Okay. One more. And one more on the left. Good. Okay. I want you to take your knees, hug them in. A little bit of rocking side to side. Okay. So if you've heard of Pilates before, you've probably heard of something called the 100. Okay. We're going to do 100. I'm going to give you several options depending on how fancy you're feeling. Okay. So the basic 100 would be in tabletop here. You curl your chin down, you lift up into a crunch, okay? And then you're pulsing with your hands, okay, as you inhale and exhale. Now, if you have neck issues, leave your head flat. It's going to be enough effort for your abdominal wall to do this, okay? Other options, if you're feeling like you can handle more advanced, you're going to see part of my legs here, sorry, would be to be up here or even down at a 45-degree angle, okay? So you may be in your crunch down at the 45-degree angle and then doing your pulses there. The idea, we're going to do 5 pulses to the in-breath and 5 pulses to the out-breath, okay? And we'll try to get to 100. So we'll try to do about 10 rounds of that. When you feel the burn is too much, you just put your head down and you stop, okay? All right, so everybody's gonna get into the position of their choice. I'm gonna come up into tabletop with the crunch, okay? And we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Halfway there, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Almost there. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, woo! Pull your knees in. Rock side to side. I hope everyone was feeling something in their abdominal walls. If you weren't, I don't know what's going on. Circle your knees around one way. Circle your knees around the other. Okay, excellent. Okay, now we're going to go into a bridge sequence, okay? So we were working a lot here. Now we're going to work here and here, okay? Glutes, hamstrings, deep hip rotators, okay? A lot of people, when I have them rise up into, this is a bridge position, they go into immediate cramps in the back of their legs, okay? Oftentimes, that's because your hamstrings kick in before your glutes, okay? We get these timing errors in our bodies, okay? So what I want you to do before you rise up into your bridge is I want you to squeeze your tush first and then rise up, okay? So we're getting a pre-contraction of the glutes before we go up into the bridge, okay? So what you're going to do is squeeze the tush, both knees are bent. You're going to roll up through the tailbone, articulate up each bone in your spine until you're in the bridge. You're going to hold 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you're going to articulate it back down, segment by segment by segment. Okay, we're going to do that again. Last thing to come down is your tailbone. Okay, tailbone rounds up, going all the way up into bridge. You should feel the pressure coming down through the back of your heels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Roll it down. Last thing to come down to the mat is that tailbone. Okay, we've got 3 more to go. Flatten your back, tilt that pelvis down, tailbone comes up all the way to the top of the bridge. Those glutes should be tight. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then roll it down all the way. Good, we've got 2 more. Tailbone comes up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Roll it back down. And tailbone comes to rest. Pre-contract those glutes. Squeeze them and roll it up. Last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then roll it back down, articulating each joint. Okay, excellent. So now I want you, we're going to stretch it out a little bit, okay? So I want you to grab your strap. Okay? And you're going to strap up around 1 foot and bring it up toward the ceiling, okay? Options are to keep this leg bent, or if you want more stretch, you bring it down. Totally up to you, okay? So we're going to hold it right in the center there. You know, I'm really flexible because I was a dancer, but most people will be here, and that's totally fine as long as you're feeling the stretch back here, okay? If you're not, you reach that heel toward the ceiling and really extend out. And we're just going to hold there for a bit, okay? Stretching out all those muscles that you just worked on your bridges. This is a good one to do if you get cramps in the middle of the night in your calf or your hamstring. Get yourself in this position and let it work itself out. So from here, what I want you to do is take your foot across your midline, okay? So your foot is coming across your body a little bit, okay? And then what you're gonna do is unlock your knee and then try to lock it. It might not lock completely, that's okay. You're gonna release it and lock it. So we're feeling this in the outer part of the hamstring. You're not feeling your IT band. That's something you might hear in exercise classes. You don't have the capacity to feel your IT band, okay? You're feeling your sciatic nerve if it's restricted, and you're feeling your lateral hamstring. Really good things to stretch. We need those sciatic nerves to be mobile, and our lateral hamstrings tend to get super tight. 2 more. Last one. Excellent. Okay, so we're gonna unstrap that foot. We're gonna strap up the other one. And we're gonna start with that neutral stretch where we're just reaching the heel toward the ceiling and holding. Knee can be unlocked, doesn't matter as long as you're feeling that stretch. Okay? And you're just holding, you're breathing, trying to be with your body. Okay, we're going to drift across the midline with this leg, and then we're going to unlock and lock. Just a little bit of movement. It's not a big thing. I think it's always interesting on this to feel how this side compares to the other side. Is it easier? Is it harder? Maybe you have more nerve restriction on one side than the other, maybe more hamstring restriction. But those asymmetries really have a big effect on us as far as how we function and how we feel. And I think it's good to know these little intricacies in our bodies. Let's do a couple more. Okay, so go ahead and unstrap that foot, and you can put your band to the side or your strap to the side. Okay, so now we did a lot of abdominal work, and now we're going to balance it out by stretching our abdominal walls a little bit and working on our front body, okay? If you're uncomfortable on your stomach, that's fine. You can skip this part, or you can take a bed pillow or whatever pillow you've got by you and put it underneath your stomach, right below your bust, between your bust and your pubic bone, okay? So it's not letting you sink quite so low, okay? So we're gonna go on our stomachs. Your hands are gonna go about right under your shoulders, okay? And we're gonna do something called Swan, okay? So as you exhale, you're pressing down through your hands, you're extending up through your spine to a comfortable place, okay? If you feel this too much in your low back, like you're getting jammed up, you're probably coming too high, okay? And let's think about leading with the chin. So we're going into a little bit of extension, looking forward, coming up into swan, hold, 2, 3, and on the exhale, we're coming back down. We're gonna do that 3 more times, okay? On the inhale, all the way up, feel that stretch through your abdominal wall, and then exhale it back down, okay? We're gonna exhale it back, or inhale it back up. Chin leads, little pause to enjoy that stretch, and then exhale it back down. Last one. Lead with the eyes. We're going up. Little pause. Enjoy that stretch. Okay, and then exhale. and bring it back down. Now I'm going to talk so my head is not in the surface right now. What you're going to do is come into Superman position, okay? Arms up overhead, okay? Very small movements with this. Your chin is tucked so the back of your neck is nice and long. On this one, I would pull your belly button a little bit in, okay? So you're a little tight through your middle. And on the exhale, you're going to try to lift one hand about an inch up without moving anything in your middle. And then you're going to put it back down, okay? On the exhale, lift the other up. And then put it back down. Okay, let's alternate a couple times. Try to notice if anything in your middle, in your pelvis, in your low back is trying to twist. And sometimes that means you're just trying to go too far. This is a less is more exercise. Small motion. Okay? Let's do a couple more each side. Okay, now we're going to take our hands and we're going to fold them palms down under the forehead. Okay? We're going to do the same thing we just did with our arms, with our legs. Okay? On the exhale, one leg lifts up 2 inches max and then comes back down. You need to focus on pressing that stationary side down so that the pelvis doesn't twist. Okay? Very small motions, tons of control. It's as if the middle part of you doesn't even notice that the leg is lifting. Let's do one more each side. Okay, we're gonna try to pair those up a little bit, okay, and do some swimmer flutter kicks, okay? Superman position with the arms, legs are stretched out, okay? Really engage through your arms, engage through your legs. You're gonna lift opposite arm and leg, and then switch, okay? If you're feeling comfortable, you can take that kind of quick, and you can flutter. Back and forth. Take it slow, take it fast, but it's all about control and stillness in your middle. Let's take it for 3, 2, 1, and rest. Okay, good. All right. We are going to now do a little bit on all fours, and then we're going to do some side lying work to finish up, okay? So all fours position, there's a couple different options. This would be the basic, okay? Sometimes if your wrists don't have enough extension, they feel really stiff, this feels better. I actually like this better, being down on my forearms, 100% fine, okay? We're gonna work glutes in this position and hamstrings, okay? So find your preferred, either up on your wrists or down on your forearms, and you're gonna take one leg back, leaving the other leg down, okay? Your back is like a tabletop. You don't wanna be twisted through your spine. Everything is very level, okay? You're gonna lift right under your panty line and lift that leg up and down, okay? Lift it up and down. Keep going. Up, down, up, down. Keep going. Up, down, and up, down. Now you're gonna lift it back up. You're gonna hold it there. You're gonna bend it in. We're working our hamstring. Bend, straighten, bend, straighten, bend, straighten, bend, straighten. Now hold. Now we're gonna lift. Actually, we're gonna come back into the bend, sorry, and then we're gonna lift up 2 inches, down 2 inches, up 2 inches, down 2 inches, up 2 inches, down 2 inches, up 2 inches, down 2 inches. Let's do 2 more. Come on. Up and down. Last one. Up and down. Good. Okay. If you want to go back into child's pose here, just stretch it out a little bit. Go for it. Feels awesome. Okay, and we're going to go to the other side. So forearms or hands. Okay, take that leg you're going to work. That left leg goes straight back. And on the exhale, lift it straight up and down. 2, down. 3, down. 4, down. Last one, 5, and down. Now you're going to bring it back up. You're going to bend from the knee. Bend and straighten. Bend, straighten, bend, out. 2 more. Bend, out, bend, out. Now come back into your bend. We're going up 2 inches, down 2 inches, up, down, up, down, up, down. Last one, up and down. Excellent. Okay, good. Come back into child's pose. Just enjoy that a little bit. We've got one more hard little series to go, and then we're going to do some nice stretching. Okay? Okay, so now you're going to go on your side. Okay? I would say most people will feel better if they put a pillow under their head. Okay? If your shoulders are good, then you're welcome to go down on your arm like this. I'm not a huge fan of this. Okay? You'll see why in a second. Okay, the knees are bent and they're pulled in front about 45 degrees. So they're not all the way up here. They're back a little bit. Okay, now options for the hand. This is going to be the harder position. This is going to be the easier position that gives you a little bit more stability. Okay, I want you to think about lifting up as though you're trying to create a little bit of space under your waistline. So we get those obliques engaged, okay? Keep that little mouse hole under there, okay? I'm gonna go here, and you're gonna go up into clamshell, and then back down, okay? And up, and down. Again, up, down. You should feel this in the back of your hip, the top glute, okay? Think about that thigh bone spinning up and out. Let's do 2 more. Spin it up and out. Pull from the back of your butt cheek. That waistline is still lifted. Last one. And there. Now, next one we have some options. Easier one, reverse clam. We're spinning the thigh bone in. We're lifting the foot up. Still working the back of the glute. Harder version. You start here, you extend up and back, and then back down. You're keeping that downward angle from the knee to the ankle. Little lift through the waistline, and you should be feeling this through your butt cheek. 2 more. Last exercise in this little rotational sequence. We're working those deep intrinsic muscles in the hip right now. Very good. We're going to go into super clam. My waistline is lifted. You can't see it because my top is droopy, but I have space here. I'm lifting my feet, both of them up, okay? And I'm going into clamshell. Up and down. I'm keeping those feet elevated. If you need more stability, you go here. 2. Lift from the back of the butt cheek. Thigh bone is spinning up. Doesn't have to be a lot of motion. I am very flexible, so do not feel like you need to go as far as me. Last one. Okay, good. We're going to do one more thing on this side, and then we're going to switch to the other. Legs are going to extend fully. Oh dear, I'm hitting things. I'm going to come up a little farther here. So easier would be to be a little bit in front of the line of your body with your legs, maybe about 30 degrees. If you want more challenge, they go right in line with the body. This is the easier position with more stability for the hand. If you want to challenge yourself more and you feel like you can do it well, you take your hand up to your waist. I don't think I can, so I'm going to keep my hand here, okay? I'm going to lift up, keeping my knee facing forward. Okay, I've got a little lift through my waistline. I'm not crunching up my waist here, and then I'm coming down, okay? Exhale, inhale. Exhale up, inhale down. Exhale up, exhale up. 2 more. Exhale up. Last one. Okay, excellent. We're going to get the other side over with, and then we're going to stretch both sides out, and it's going to feel awesome. This is our last hard thing, okay? So once you get yourself flipped around so you can still see me, I'm going to take you through the whole sequence on the other side, okay? So we're starting with the knees flexed in front of the body about 45 degrees, hand here or here. Lift through the waistline, and we're going into clam. Up, down, pulling from the back of the butt cheek. Notice if you feel one side more than you feel the other. If you feel it in the exact right spot on one side and you don't on the other. That's actually really common. That's really problematic. And if you are not feeling it as much in the butt cheek on one side, think about that thigh bone twisting up and out a little bit more. 2 more. If you've got an arthritic hip, you're not going to get as much rotation, and that's okay. Okay, next one, we're going into reverse clam, or we're going into that reverse clam lift and angle it back down. Okay, exhale it out. Inhale it in. 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 1 more. Exhale it out. And inhale it in. Good. Legs are going to extend fully. Okay? I'm going to keep my hand here. I did that on the other side. I'm still lifted up under my waistline. I've got those oblique muscles engaged. Okay? And I'm going to, on the exhale, lift up. And down. As you lift, make sure you're lifting from your hip. You're not crunching up that top waistline. It's really easy to just bend your back. I'd rather see less lift through the leg and no movement in the back. 2 more. Last one. Okay, good. So now we're going to roll onto the back. And we're gonna stretch out those poor glutes, okay? Options here. You're gonna cross one ankle over the opposite knee, okay? Option one, opposite hand comes across and you pull the knee towards your opposite shoulder. So I'm pulling my right knee toward my left shoulder. That's option number one, and that can feel awesome, okay? Option number two is to go into figure four stretch, where you're reaching through and you're pulling both knees in towards your chest. You've got more rotation in this one. And we're gonna hold for 20 seconds or so, just kind of breathing into that stretch. If you're getting groin pain here, you need to switch to that other one. This is, you should feel this in your butt cheek, not your groin. Couple more breaths here. All right, and we're gonna uncross and go to the other side. Left ankle over right knee. We're either using the right hand to pull gently across, or we're looping our hands through and pulling the whole thing up. You should feel this in your left butt cheek, not your groin. Okay, and again, if you feel it in your groin, you go back with the foot down and you pull gently across, okay? That usually means you've got an arthritic hip. And you don't want to push that. That's like picking at a scab. It's not gonna make anything feel better. All right, just hold here for a couple breaths. Last breath. Okay, so to get up from there, I want you to roll onto your side. And I want you to use your hands to help you push yourself up, back up to sitting. Okay? All right, so Marla, if you want to unmute people, or you can unmute yourself. How did you guys feel? Okay?
Yeah, great.
Good? Didn't rile anything up that didn't need to be riled up?
No, it was very good. Thank you.
Very good.
Okay.
Very good. Thank you.
You should feel better, hopefully. Okay.
Good.
You're welcome to sign off if you want to. You're welcome to stay on and ask questions. I know we're all like out of physical therapy right now if we were in it, and maybe have close or questions or whatever, and I'm happy to deal with them in a general way if you want.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Robin.
Do you
I don't-
think you might offer this again, Elsa?
Do I what?
Do you think you might offer this again?
I'm happy to if people want me to. Yeah.
That'd be great. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be happy to. You know, I thought about the possibility of me maybe getting some TheraBand and dropping it with people who want to do another class, because I could incorporate, we could do some upper back, shoulder stuff, etc. And I might want to incorporate at least that amount of equipment if we're going to do another one. So that would be easy for me to do.
Before everybody signs off, I'd just like to thank you so much
Yeah.
for volunteering to do this. And yes, we would certainly love for you to do another one. Can you and I talk after
Sure.
or next couple of days and get it set up?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm happy to. I think exercise is good right now.
Mhm.
Yes.
Elsa, I do have a question.
Yes, Rosalie.
So on the ones where you're lying on your stomach,
Yeah.
what are you supposed to be doing with your head? Is it
Well, so as in a lot of exercises, you want to try to keep what we call a neutral spine. So if you were to think about your ear kind of plumb lining with your shoulder, plumb lining with your hip, right? So in the position on your stomach, what it means is that your chin needs to be tucked so that the back of your neck is long, okay? The tendency is to want to do this, which if you've got any neck pain or any stenosis, which anybody above 50 probably does, that's really a bad position, okay? So you can be here or your forehead to the mat, chin tucked.
So raise your arms, but have your head
tucked.
Okay.
Have your chin tucked. Sometimes if it's more comfortable, you put a little towel roll under your forehead. That's something that I'll sometimes have. It just depends on what feels good to you. If you feel like you're like kissing the mat, then you just put a little towel roll right here. You know, when we're doing the legs, you can just be like this with your arms. But when we're doing arms, you know, you can either have your forehead flat on the mat or you can use a towel roll there.
Okay.
Yeah, does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, good question.
Thank you for doing this.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm glad everybody joined.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks,
I
Mike.
would,
Yeah.
I would just have a general question. I don't have the picture up, but anyway.
Who's talking right now? I can't see.
My name is Ruth. I don't have my picture.
Oh, okay, fine. Okay, go ahead.
So the question is, if you haven't done Pilates before and you think you're probably not even anyway, that you're probably doing some things basically wrong. Okay, I'm not a dancer. I'm in decent shape, but you know, this and that. And I mean, I am 70. So it's like,
yeah.
I'm just curious about things where you might not be doing it correctly because you haven't done Pilates before at all. That's basically it.
Right. So where would you go from here? Like as far as somebody maybe giving you some more feedback?
Nah, I'm just not sure how to
Well,
because obviously we're not gonna.
I think as in a lot of things in life, you know, don't let perfect be the enemy of the good, right? So, you know, I have patients who I give them an exercise to take home with them and they're like, I didn't do it because I was worried I would do it wrong. And I'm like, even doing it slightly wrong was better than not doing it at all. Okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm doing PT, and some of what you're doing is a little bit is like the PT, only better, I would say, but or related. You know, it's more like preemptive PT rather than like a real serious injury or anything. But yeah, so that was it. But no, I know you don't want to be. But you know, I see people like yourself who have been a dancer, and obviously now you have your feet. It's like so nice to watch, but you know, it's kind of, if you're not that, you know.
Sure. But you don't have to. You really don't have to be. And I think that it's one of those things. Do more of it. You'll get more comfortable and trust yourself a little bit. You know, you're giving yourself some feedback with your fingertips, for instance, around your pelvis. Your fingertips with practice will get more sensitive, right? They're not going to be sensitive the first time, but subsequent times you'll be able to give yourself better feedback, right?
Right.
And so I think it's one of those things where practice and you'll get better at it. You'll get more comfortable. You'll get more confident.
Yeah.
At a certain point, if you didn't, you know, in a world where like we can actually like see each other again, then you like come and see somebody like me. You know what I mean? And we work it out. I give you some manual feedback, etc.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Some people signed off. I don't know. 0:15.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Mike, were you exercising with us?
But
Were you exercising with us?
yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
How did it go?
It was good. I sort of stopped short on some of them, but it was good.
Yeah, totally fine. And you still have a beard, so I see you haven't made any drastic changes.
So I'm still going back and forth on that. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
You're very welcome. Yeah. All right, good.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Rosalie. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you, Marla.
Thank you.
Yeah. Marty, do you want to just chat real quick? Or do you want to email me?
Well, Marla, do you have to jump off?
No, you can go for a minute. Go ahead.
Yeah, because Marla would be ending the Zoom.
Yeah.
So we don't want to take advantage of you, but we'll take as many classes as you're.
I mean, I'm not doing anything, so.
I mean, do you want to do once a week? Do you want to do it the other week?
No, I can do once a week.
So we just put out the Be Connected today, and I'm trying to visualize it in my mind.
Okay.
I know on Monday night next